Introduce yourself, guys.
Hey up, we're Marseille, I'm Will.
I'm
That's
Joe.
A up, A up. Wonderful. Thanks for joining us on the show. This is our second Dougie's Atomic Dustbin. So whereabouts are you based? Let everyone know where you're based for those that don't know where you are.
we're from Derby, we are.
Derby. Oat cakes and everything in between. Yeah.
Yep.
I was in Derby last week. I was in the Dales. It was nice. I enjoyed it. So you've thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for Janice Street Team for sorting it out. Have you just signed a deal, or you just have you got a record deal, or you just signed with someone? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Oh, I guess I'm doing it. I was just waiting for Joe to go to his microphone. Yeah, we signed with Away Day Radio Records, so it seems like a no-brainer at this early stage, to be honest. So, yeah, we're really happy with that.
So what's the commitment there? Have you got to create so many tracks, or are they just managing you? What's the you don't have to go into all the details, but how does that work
Well,
then?
it's sort of non-contractual. It's just like we're together for the meantime and stuff, and we'll work together to get music out and distribute it and start working on physical sales and because
Excellent.
we're obviously wanting to move towards selling vinyls and doing CDs and stuff for people to buy because not everyone's got streaming platforms.
Well, and the only way as artists you're going to make any money unless you're like Liam Gallagher and you get 5 million streams after a week is to sell merch and sell hard copies of things, isn't it? So, and do gigs. So, what about you? Let's get Joseph in now. His microphone's working. So, how long you been together? How long you been performing?
We've been together for about a year and a half, nearly 2 years, I suppose, but let's go with a year and a half. But gigging wise, we've been performing, believe it or not, less than a year. So a lot's happened in that time. We're coming close to a year, but not quite yet. So yeah, it's been a very good, very interesting, and really enjoyed that.
Excellent. So,
Great.
what do you do? Play local bars and what have you done? Anything besides that?
We played local bars and pubs from the beginning, but as we sort of went through and released more stuff and got out there a bit more, we got playing more venues. So in December, we played Rescue Rooms. We played the venue in Derby, which we're then playing again on the 25th of March. Happy Days gig, you can get your tickets. So, yeah, we've got a lot of venues coming up, which is what we want to keep doing. That's great.
Excellent, because we've created this show because the scene's quite buoyant at the minute, especially on Twitter. There's a real collaboration between bands and they're all promoting each other, which is fantastic. So we said, well, let's create a show around that and give people a bit of a showcase that they can go and discover some great new bands, new artists that are not necessarily broken through yet and on the mainstream. So we're a bit of an indie station. Not indie music, but we're an independent station, so that's what it's sort of stuff we're doing. So there's you're a 3-piece, aren't you?
Four now.
4-piece now, yeah.
4-piece now, okay. On your image, it's just got 3. So where's the other 2? They're still in bed.
Well, I don't know what Tom's doing, and Lennon's at school. Tom's probably in bed.
Really? Still at school? What, sixth form?
No, he's 16, so he's in year 11.
Wow, that's interesting.
Me and Joe are just the year above, so we're not in school.
Wow, that's so yeah. So he's what you doing this? What you doing this weekend? Oh, miss, I'm playing in a bar in Derby.
Yeah, that's a good talking point, that, yeah.
Isn't it? Change your uniform on, don't go in that. That's what. So you're actually playing in bars and can't even have a drink in there.
Well, we don't really play in bars anymore. Yeah,
Right.
just more venues, but you can't have a drink now.
Well, you know what I mean. The venues, they sell alcohol in
Yeah,
venues
yeah.
as well. I say bars loosely, as in and what have you. So, because you've released if you've only been together a year or performed about a year, you've released a few tracks already, haven't you? You've got 4 tracks on the old streaming platforms, which is pretty good. And your latest track, which we're going to play at the end of the interview, She Knows a Place. So, who inspires your music then?
Oh well, that's a good question because there's a lot. Obviously, as the main songwriter, it's all the '90s bands, so just the stuff like that's what I really consider indie, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of indie bands that are getting major success at the minute, and everyone's lapping up, but none of them compare to what it was in the '90s, like Oasis, The Charlatans, Stone Roses. all of them. That's what I consider proper indie. So they're made most of the influences that go into the songs. But
Right.
I know Joe's got a lot.
Yeah, I've got my own influences on the side as well.
Go on then. Let's have it. Let's so people know.
Well, I'm into the exact same music as well with like Oasis and the Roses, Charlatans, etc. But as a lead guitarist, you're into more of the like guitar-heavy bands. So Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all that stuff for me. When you try and mix that with sort of an indie style, you get something quite original, I like to think. So brings a new life to the songs in some way, and it just creates magic.
Excellent. I mean, I get your point about the the indie scene really exploded with those big names back in the 90s, didn't they? And really propelled the genre forward. But I'm listening and doing this show, and that's why I just created a show. The artists that are out there now and producing the shows, the bands that are on are just phenomenal. And what we're hoping to do is these bands become the next Oasis. You know what I mean? Bands like yourself, you become the next. In another 10 years or 20 years, people say, "Oh yeah, it was great back in the 220." When we had these bands coming along, and do you know what I mean? So keeping it fresh, they're great to have them there. But I personally like to listen to some new stuff and what people are creating and put their own spin on it. And there's some fantastic music out there right now. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the underground stuff. Like, there's loads of good bands coming out that quite haven't hit the big time. But I mean, the indie bands that have hit the big time at the minute, they're all, in my opinion, boring.
I like you. You're honest, because sometimes do what band would you put in on the big full interview? What would you put in room 101 and what have you? So yeah, excellent. Hey, so if you're all of a certain age, how'd you get to your gigs then? Because can you drive now? Or are you
Parents.
Oh, marvellous. Dad's
Learning
like,
to
Roadies.
drive.
Yeah.
We're learning to drive. Yeah.
Dad's like that. Oh my God, they've got another gig this weekend. Because probably when you're young, if you're playing football, you thought, oh God, once they get out of this football, they can start going themselves, and now they're taking you all over. So yeah, it'd be good when you can get yourself to a gig, won't it? Or drive around, not rely on them. So who would you like to play along with? Who would support?
That's a good question. But there's a band called Pastel going about, which I'm a really big fan of at the minute. Very 90s style, which is something I'm always open to. So I'd love to support them because I think our music would gel well together.
Pastel. I'll have to follow up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll try and find them in a bit. I might play some on the show, have a listen to them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll see them. We've got them now. We'll get a track up. So where are they from?
Manchester.
They've been on BBC Introducing as well, haven't they? If I've got the right one.
Yeah, they've been on BBC Radio 6. They have.
Yeah. Steve Lamack, just reading that. Oh, we'll get a track on Fit, and what we'll do, we'll follow them, we'll tag them and say, "Oi, you need to get these guys on your gig. They're a good support act."
Yeah,
do it.
So what have you got planned for the rest of the year? Have you got more music being released?
Yeah, 100%. We had planned out the release plan this year as more of a studio band because at the start of the year the band was just me and Joe. We had like loads of issues, but we've sorted it now. We've got a good drummer. We've got Tom, he's great. We've got Lennon, who joined a few weeks ago. But we have got a lot of releases this year because it was planned to be more of a studio year. So we've got an EP coming out May, June time, and we've got another EP coming out in late this year, like November time. So a lot of releases. There's going to be another single out this month, actually, on the 18th of March. We've announced that one.
Excellent. Well, we'll be playing that. Well, when you can drive and you can get about, because you're not a million miles away from Derby, why don't you drive down to Studio 1? And I've got an area where I can get a 4-piece in and we'll do a session. So if you want to do that at some point, just give us a shout. Just message us on the old Twitter and we'll organise that.
Yeah, we'll do.
Excellent. So what's the creative process? Is it just because you're the original band members? Are you creating the music, or have the other guys brought something to that as well? Are they contributing?
Well, I mean, Will writes the songs, as we say, so he comes in with the bones of them. And because we live like 5 minutes away from each other, he'll usually call me up or something and say, "Oh, I've just got this idea. Just play this and then just add your own thing." So we sort of do that, and then we bring it to Tom and Lennon, and again, put their own spin on it, put your own influence to it, and again, you get a great song out of it, which is fantastic.
Fantastic. So as you're just leaving full-time education, and the other guys will be soon, what's your plans going forward? Are you gonna go and get focus on this full-time, or are you gonna go out and get proper jobs, as they say? Because I bet your parents are going, you've got to get a proper job, Well, you can't just rely on this music stuff. What's your thoughts there? What you're doing from that point of view?
My thoughts there is that, no, band full time, without a doubt. No, that seems hopeful, but there's no reason why we can't make it. I don't think we need
shelves.
We might get a job on the side just to get stuff going, but band full time.
Yeah, we interviewed a band called Booming the other week. You want to check them out? They're a full-time band, and they went full in, and they do cruise ships and holiday parks. So go and check them out. Go and check that out. And Booming, they're an emerging band as well. They're doing pretty well. So
nice.
They're full in, because some bands we introduced, we had one the other week come on. He'd been painting. He was covered in paint, and we did the interview. Just come from his full-time job. So it's interesting because your age, whether you want to, you go full on because you've basically got no commitments, as it were. You're not mortgages and families, and you can take that risk, can't you?
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, I don't know what else we'd do, to be honest, other than stacking shelves or.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with stacking shelves, but I get you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Do what you're passionate about. So, what do your parents think about it?
Well, we're lucky because we've got a lot of support with that. They're behind us all the way, because they just are. So we're very lucky in that respect, and just belief in the band. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's what you need. You need people.
Really good.
You need people that are going to support you. So what we're going to do in a minute, we're going to play your track. But before I do that, before I let you go, what we've been doing is been getting the bands to do little drops, artist drops. So if you don't mind, if you could just introduce your band and say you're listening to Duggystone Radio. So I know it's putting you on the spot, but if you'd like to do that for us, that'd be wonderful. And then we'll put it on the station and we'll play it on this show on the coming weeks. So over to you.
Hi, we are Marseille. You're listening to Duggystone Radio. This song's called She Knows a Place.
Wonderful. We'll take that and change it. So keep in touch with us. Keep following us on the socials. If you've got any songs being released, then please send them our way. We'll be following you anyway, so we'll see that's coming up. But if you want to send us anything before it's released, we'll get it out there, and we'll get you on. We'll get you on again for a little chat, see where you're up to. Let us know what you're doing over there. You know what I mean? Keep in touch. We want to know your story. We want to follow your journey over the next year or so and see where you end up. And really pleased that you spent the time to come and join us on the show. And well done for your collaboration and signing your deal with them, which is great, and it's good that they've got behind you. So I'm going to let you get on with your day. I'm going to play your track, which you've just introduced, haven't you? If you want to introduce it again, you can do, and we'll get on with it. What's it about, the track?
Well, I usually just write down lyrics, whatever, but it's about meeting a girl and getting lucky. That's what it's about.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for joining us on the show. Good luck for the future, and we're going to play your track now. It's called She Knows a Place.